Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and today's live stream we're going to be looking at Bitcoin currently threatening to get to new all-time highs here. Then we'll be taking a look at some of the other altcoins. I'll be looking at some of your chart requests if you guys have specific coins you want me to take a look at. We also have the stock market trading today. Today is the last day. Tomorrow's going to be a holiday, so if you guys want me to take a look at any of your stocks as well, we can take a look at some stocks. That whatever requests you guys have, I'll be taking a look at them. But yeah, let's get started here with Bitcoin first. Okay, what I see here with Bitcoin, Bitcoin currently trading at $109,491 here on July 3rd of 2025. And what Bitcoin has done, right? We're looking at the daily chart here. Bitcoin is threatening to get above this previous high that it had at $110,650. I actually marked this area out with this red line here, this red number, $110,600 Bitcoin is an area that could provide resistance, and that actually happened today. We saw Bitcoin get up to $110,590, so kudos, congratulations to the Bitcoin bulls for pushing the price up that high. I would love to see Bitcoin actually get up to that $110,600 level and actually do a daily candle close above it. But hey, you know, a candle wick up there, that's fine for now. We'll keep on pushing the price higher. As you can see, that we're no longer in this downtrend anymore. Okay, we had a downtrend that I marked off here with this yellow line. Where Bitcoin, created a high here on May 22nd at $112,000, and then we've seen ourselves make a lower high here on June 9th at $110,650, and then we almost made another lower high here on Sunday and Monday here, and then Tuesday was not looking so good, and then we finally got that bullish engulfing candle on Wednesday, pushed us above this downtrend, and now here we are. We want to stay above this downtrend, okay? I know that we actually was threatening to go to new all-time highs earlier this morning. Well, maybe not that close, but we were pushing the price up. But I want to see this candle, this daily candle close, stay above the downtrend at the very least here. Okay, so I still have this yellow line, this downtrend line. That's going to confirm to the short sellers that they need to stop shorting Bitcoin, and they need to come join the bulls here and pushing the price up to higher prices here, because if we're showing that much strength and there's no longer a downtrend, then the downtrend is invalidated. If we have a candle close, a daily candle close above it, I would consider that an invalidated downtrend, and we're creating basically a new uptrend where we're making higher lows here on Bitcoin and possibly a higher high than what we did here back on June 9th. Okay, so yeah, I do want to see even better, more preferable. I want to see Bitcoin's daily close get above 110,600. But right now, I'll take just staying above this downtrend. This downtrend line is at 108,000. We'll say $108,500. We just need Bitcoin to stay above that $108,500 level to invalidate this downtrend that we've been in for like the last few weeks now. We've been in this downtrend ever since May 22nd here. Okay, so that's what I see for Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin's able to continue climbing up to higher prices here, then I do have some previous chart work here. I have a Fibonacci analysis that's measuring from where Bitcoin's topped out at $112,000 down to where we got down to $98,000 on June 22nd. Okay, and it's showing that the 1618 should get us to $120,000 Bitcoin. That could happen, I believe, later on in the month of July if we continue being bullish, if we get some trade deals here. We just found out today with the U.S. jobs report that the American economy is still chugging along, creating 147,000 jobs. So the economy is doing fine, which might lead the Federal Reserve to just continue to leave interest rates on hold for now. But with the economy doing fine and inflation not really an issue, I can't foresee that there would be any bad economic news events that would bring the price down, unless the trade deals start falling apart. But we did get a trade deal. I think we got a trade deal yesterday with Vietnam. So maybe we'll get some more trade deals in the next few days here. We got until July 9th to get these trade deals in, and then we're gonna find out what the Trump administration wants to do with tariffs on these countries that don't want to cooperate. But yeah, we'll see what that brings next week. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing this week here with Bitcoin. Let me just show you the jobs report real quick here. We have this information coming from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. We did increase employment by 147,000 jobs in June, and the unemployment rate actually went down just a little bit, down to 4.1%. I believe it was like 4.2% in May, so we actually went down on the unemployment rate. And I know some of you guys might feel like that's not really the case, but a lot of those jobs that did get added, they were government jobs. You'll see that right here. Government employment rose by 73,000 jobs in June. And most of that employment was actually state government jobs, and mostly in education. Okay. The federal government actually did continue losing jobs. They lost about 7,000 jobs last month. So not so good to be a federal government worker right now. Your job is kind of like on the line here with the Trump administration. But it seems like the state governments are picking up the slack here. Let's get back into Bitcoin now. I just wanted to show you briefly, what was going on with the jobs report today. It was a good jobs report. Although some people wanted us to lose jobs, or at least have a weak report, so that way the Federal Reserve will lower interest rates. I know yesterday the ADP employment report showed that we actually lost jobs last month, so I think a lot of traders got confused this morning when they saw that the jobs report was actually pretty strong for the U.S. government. But hey, the ADP employment report doesn't take into account government jobs. They don't have that data because they don't do payroll for the government. But anyways, let's see. We got Jesus in the live stream here saying that XRP is the future of banking. I did hear about XRP. XRP, I believe, is getting a banking license or Ripple. We talked about that yesterday in the live stream. Apparently, you want us to talk about XRP. You think XRP is going to $10? I think that's a little bit ambitious, but you never know with crypto. I think it could still be possible, but yeah, let's take a look at the XRP chart since you mentioned it. Let's take a look at XRP. XRP currently trading at $2.26 right now, up 1.3% today. And what do we got here for XRP? XRP is currently below its 200-day moving average, this red line. I want to see XRP get above that 200-day moving average at $2.36, and then I would start to become more bullish on XRP. Anytime you're below the 200-day moving average, in my opinion, on the daily time frame, below the 200-day moving average, you are bearish until you can prove me otherwise that you can be bullish by getting above the 200 moving average. Okay. But I do have some previous chart work here that shows that, you said that $10 target. My previous chart work, if you measure from like where XRP was at like 50 cents back in October of 2024 to the impulse move, and this impulse move that took us all the way to like $3.40 XRP in January of 2025, you got a 1618 that says you could get a $5.21 XRP. I think that's possible later on this year. The sooner XRP gets an ETF, probably the better. I think that would push the price of XRP to $5 in my opinion. But then we got a 2618 that says XRP could possibly get up to like $8.11. So $10 might be a little bit too ambitious. But we do have a 3618 that says $11 XRP could possibly come into play. So those are your long-term targets if this plays out in XRP's favor here. But right now, I see like XRP has, made a lot of people a lot of money, and some investors are just taking profit, and we've been taking profit, and we've been making lower highs, lower high, lower high, and now we need to actually prove that we can actually make higher highs here, because if XRP is not able to make higher highs, then we're just going to make a lower high, and then what? Then we have to go down to lower prices, where we could possibly see XRP down to $1.60, right? Where it was trading at back on April 7th here. You know, that's the downside target for XRP, in my opinion. But upside targets are, you know, to the upside here. If XRP can get past $2.60, I think we'll quickly go to $3. And then after $3, we'll just see what XRP does when it gets to like $3.40 if we're going to get rejected in that area. Alright, I see John 316's in the live stream chat over here on YouTube. John 316 keeps asking for the altcoin season. and John thinks XRP ain't going to $10. XRP could go to $10 in my opinion if it gets this banking license and starts working with the banks, and also gets the ETF. We get that XRP ETF, get some more institutional money coming into play here. The same kind of money that was going into Bitcoin the past year, and Ethereum as well, will probably go into XRP, and that could probably push the price up at least to $5 in my opinion, but maybe $10. Alright, we got Idris in the chat here asking about ZBEC. Okay, we'll take a look at ZBEC, and you're saying that it's down a lot? That's interesting. We'll have to take a look at that. Appreciate that request. Let me just write that down. And I got another person that's asking me about BMNR. Alright, I'm not familiar with that one, but we'll take a look at that. If I can find it on TradingView, then you're good. Alright. And we got Yordi asking me about Solana. So I'll do Solana next, because you put in that request before the other guys did. But I appreciate you coming in. We'll take a look at Solana. And oh, I see my buddy Mar has joined, but he hasn't said anything yet. Alright. And I see Ross. I see Ross is always in here as well. Appreciate you coming into the live stream here, Ross. Alright. So yeah, let's get started with Solana. And then we'll look at ZBEC and BMNR. Alrighty. Alright, oh, is this another request here? Someone wants me to look at Tau. Alright, that's going to be coming up on deck. Appreciate the request, guys. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Because if I'm going over your cryptocurrencies and your stocks over here, and I'm giving you some free analysis on these assets, then you should at least show some love and hit that like button. Alright. But yeah, let's get started. We'll look at Solana. I want to start with a fresh chart, so let me just see if I can find Solana on an exchange I don't usually take a look at. Take a look at Solana on Kraken. Okay, so we're now looking at Solana, currently trading at $151, down 0.77% today, and that's a little bit unfortunate because Solana did come out with an ETF. They have an ETF in the United States that started trading yesterday. I even bought some shares of it myself with my stock market money that I got. And yeah, let's take a look at Solana here. Solana caught a few bids here. Looks like here on Saturday, when rumors started coming out about the Solana ETF, we pushed the price up on Solana from $141 to $152 here. But then I think even on Monday, when the rumor came out that, yeah, we're actually going to get a Solana ETF and it's going to start trading on Wednesday, you saw a Solana price get pushed up all the way to $160. And I think Solana can keep pushing to higher prices here. We are in a slight uptrend here. You can see that we're making higher lows here. I can mark this out right now. We do have a trend here on Solana that we need to maintain. Okay, that'd be nice to see if we can continue pushing up. And if we can continue pushing up, I think we're going to get rejected off the 200-day moving average. This 200-day moving average is this red line sitting at $166. Looks like this could happen by like Friday of next week is when I could see Solana getting to $160. $166 probably get rejected off the 200-day moving average, or if we don't get rejected, maybe we overshoot, come back, and then trade sideways along the 200-day moving average. But I'm expecting $160 Solana going into next week. Okay, as long as we maintain this trend line and we don't lose this trend line that we're on right now, okay, you're pushing towards those higher prices, and that $166 target is a target that would put you competing against the previous high here at $168, which we did back on June 11th. So yeah, I already have a leverage long on Solana that I'm holding on to, and I'm pushing it until we get up to $168, and then that's probably where I'm going to sell my Solana that I'm currently in a trade on. But I still have my Solana bags, and I still got some spot Solana. I think Solana will go to higher prices than that. But first we gotta contend against this 200-day moving average, and then we'll see if Solana can get back to the highs that it did back in May when it got to $187. And then of course we gotta get past the $200 psychological target. But you know, one level at a time. Right now, $168, then $187 should be the take profit targets if you're swing trading Solana right now. To the downside, you know, you don't want downside, but you know, if we do come down, we could revisit the lows here, back here on June 27th, where we came down to $137, and then maybe even this other low here on June 22nd, where we came down to $126. If we did that, then you know, hopefully we're just making a double bottom, and then we shoot up and go to higher prices from there. But I can't, you know, foresee us going down to those levels unless something bad happens on like a geopolitical event where like a war breaks out or something, another war somewhere. All right, so anyways, yeah, I think Solana has a lot going for it now that it has that ETF. More institutional interest is coming into Solana. I see Solana going up rather than down. All right, let's take a look at ZBEC. And my buddy was saying that ZBEC is down today. Ooh. Oh, yeah, it's not too bad. It's down 6%. I know that's not the greatest, but you know, could be worse. Could be double-digit percentage loss here. But let's see, ZBEC. You know, the funny thing about ZBEC, I think someone mentioned this before. ZBEC seems to go up when the market is down, and it goes down when when Bitcoin's going up. So, yeah, it looks like here on May 30th was when we got as high as about 0.0071 pennies here on ZBEC. And I think ZBEC that's the network that's going to be doing payroll, right? They're trying to get involved with payroll on cryptocurrency payroll. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, Crypto, I appreciate that request for Pith. I'll take a look at that for you. Let me just write that down. You guys keep me busy here on the requests. I love it. But yeah, let's just look at ZBEC real quick here. So ZBEC, right? I have done a previous Fibonacci analysis here on ZBEC, where we measured from the lows that ZBEC was at back in you know, middle of May, when we saw ZBEC at like 0.0015 pennies. Hey, what is that? Alright, don't do that. Alright. So I measured from that low, you know, the low here from back in May to the high here in late May when we got to 0.0071 pennies, and it gave me this Fibonacci analysis here. It looks like ZBEC is actually going to try to test and come down to the lows here. This 0.236 deep retracement. You could get some support at 0.0028 pennies for ZBEC. I think that's where ZBEC is going to want to go next, since we're losing some crucial levels here. I spotted, you know, in previous chart work that ZBEC needed to stay above this red number here, this 0.0037 pennies. And it lost that level. It lost that level here on last Saturday, okay? And that's why you're steadily creeping down the lower prices here on ZBEC. I don't think ZBEC is actually going to start catching some bids until we get to this 0.236 retracement. And I don't think you're going to catch some bids on ZBEC until you actually get maybe to this 50 moving average sitting at 0.0025 pennies. So we could come anywhere between 0.0025 and 0.0028 on ZBEC before you might get a bounce. You might get like a pity dead cap bounce on this asset. Okay, so I think you still have some further room to go on ZBEC, unfortunately. All right, so if you can't handle it, you know, maybe you sell now and then you buy back later once we get down to this 50-day moving average, this green line sitting at 0.0025 pennies. Okay, but that's not financial advice. You do whatever you want to do with your money. Okay, I think ZBEC is going to go down a little bit further before it goes back up. All right. But yeah, the upside is, yeah, you could get up to these higher Fibonacci's. At the very least, you could probably get back to 0.618 at like 0.005 pennies. Okay, but yeah, I think the trend is not your friend here on ZBEC as far as I'm looking at. I think this thing wants to come down to that 50-day moving average. All right, let's take a look at BMNR. BMNR, is this a stock that you want me to look at? This is Bitmine Immersion Technologies. What the? This thing just started trading? It's on the New York Stock Exchange. Wow, okay, I think I know why you want me to look at this thing, because this thing is up 108% today. What the? What is the news for the day? What does this thing do? I'm trying to learn some more about BMNR before I start analyzing it on the charts here. It says Bitmine Immersions is a blockchain technology company which engages in industrial scale digital asset mining, equipment sales, and hosting operations. It operates through the cryptocurrency mining industry segment. Was founded in August of 1995 and headquartered in Las Vegas, Nevada. So this thing is getting itself involved with cryptocurrency miners, which could be Bitcoin, it could be Ethereum, it could be doing GPU mining for the GPU coins that are able to be mined with GPUs. But this thing is having a pretty good day, and there is not much I can do for analysis here, at least not on the daily time frame. Maybe I could try looking at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. Okay, now I have a 21 EMA showing up here, and I got the 50 moving average as well. This thing is just going exponentially up and to the right. The only other thing I can possibly do here is I could probably do a Fibonacci analysis, and that could give me some levels here for you to look out for. Okay, if this thing does come down for whatever reason, the 618 could provide support at $102. I think that makes sense. You know, it's a psychological number. I think most traders would try to buy this when this thing comes back down to $100. If it does come down to $100, man, this thing got up to like $161 earlier today. Whew. I mean, no, it got up to $161 this hour. We're looking at the hourly chart right now. Jesus. Okay. If this thing continues its exponential move up to the upside, though, you got a 1618 that says traders might start clicking the sell button when this thing gets to $258. So good luck with this. I think this is kind of like a gamble, but I just gave you a price target if you want to get in it and you think you can push the stock up to that price. You have a $258 upside price target that I would be looking for. But let's see. Let me go ahead and put on the oscillators here real quick. We'll take a look at the RSI to see if it's overbought on the 1 hour time frame, and yes, it is overbought. Okay, look at the RSIs. The RSI is at 82 right now. Okay. Anytime you're above 70 on the RSI, you're overbought. So this thing probably wants to go down rather than going up. But yeah, this thing is brand spanking new. Brand spanking new stock. Just started trading, what, a few days ago? Maybe a few weeks ago. Looks like it started trading on May 30th, so about a month now. And now this thing is catching bids right now. Interesting stock play there. Appreciate that request. And I wish you the best on whatever you decide to do with that stock if you decide to get involved in it. Let's take a look at Tau. And then we'll take a look at PIF after that. Yeah, I mean, be careful with that stock, you know, especially a brand new stock like that. I think you should try to look to see if you could buy some more at lower levels, and I would start with, you know, at 102 bucks, you know, or $107 maybe, which is the Fibonacci retracement. Okay, and maybe you might get lucky enough to get the 0.5 at $83. So I'd be stop putting in your buy orders in at those levels after what this thing has done already. Okay, but yeah, let's look at Tau. And I'm on the daily time frame here. Okay, just gotta zoom out a little bit. Alright. Oh, yep, and I got some previous chart work here on Tau. Tau is currently trading at $333.99. Why does that thing look frozen to me? Hey, how's this live stream? Am I still good on the live stream here, guys? Because this price looks frozen right now on Binance Exchange. It's just $333, just pegged to that. Okay, whatever. So I do have some previous chart work here with Tau. We did see Tau get up to like what, $488 on May 12th here. And this Fibonacci analysis, and looks like Tau has come down to the 0.5 retracement. And you have some moving averages here. The 50 moving average is currently at 345. So you're below that 50 moving average. And let's see, the 100 moving average is also above us as well. So Tau looks like it's trying to use or trying to get above these moving averages. These moving averages are temporarily acting as resistance, but as long as Tau is able to continue making higher lows and hopefully some higher highs here, it should get above those moving averages. And then you got the 200-day moving average, which is will act as resistance. I know traders out there will try to click the sell button when it does get up to 200-day moving average. And that 200-day moving average is confluent with the 618 at 367. So $367 should be your short-term take profit target on Tau. And then if you want to push it further, maybe we can get up to the 786 retracement at $422. And then of course you want to get past this high that you made back here in May at $488. Okay, but one level at a time. Right now, you got to get past these moving averages that are right above your head. And then you got to get past this 200-day moving average at 367. See, Dylan's in the chat. Appreciate you coming on. Trade Intuition got you here. Yep, Trade Intuition. Joe's a good guy. Good guy. Hopefully we'll see Trade Intuition show up in the chat. I know he said he was gonna check out TradeFly's live stream here. But yeah, we'll just be waiting to see if Joe shows up or not. Usually he does, and when I do these afternoon streams, he usually shows up. Alright, Bally's mail is asking me about ICP. We'll take a look at ICP. Appreciate that request. I'm trying to see if I can find some downside targets for Tau. If Tau is continuing it on this downtrend here, we could come down to the 0.236 retracement. Just keep that in mind. We might come down to $244 on Tau. I'm not sure why that would be the case, but it is there. Okay, traders will be eyeballing that level, and that's the level that you were at for the most part back here in March and April. So I think $244 is your downside target. If you're bearish on Tau, if you're trying to short sell Tau, you could probably take it down to that level. Alright, let's see. We got another guy here in the chat. Harsh Warden Diggy. You want some money to trade? You gotta go make some money to go trade, man. Hopefully, with me teaching you guys some chart analysis and technical analysis here, you guys can actually make some money and then have your money generate you more money and income here. Alright, let's see. We got Dark up in here. You were watching on TikTok, but your comments were filtered. You're Mar. Okay. Oh, so Mar, that's your YouTube handle on YouTube. That's cool. It's good to see you in the YouTube live stream here. Appreciate you coming on board. All right, let's take a look at Pith. Looking at Pith right now, currently trading at 10 cents right now. Having pretty much flat for the day. Pith network. It's in a downtrend, obviously. You can see that, you know. Price has been going down. He topped out here in December, right? But I mean, Pith network, right? This thing has been at even higher prices here back in March. So that's just really sad to see. This thing had a really great altcoin season back in March of 2024. Try to get back up to, you know, its former self here, shadow of itself here in November and December of 2024. And it's just been down and to the right and down to the right and lower highs, lower lows. I guess the question now is Pith network bottoming out, or are we going to continue the downtrend here? Let me go pull up the oscillators here. Let's see if we got some bullish divergence. All the bulls showing up to buy Pith network. So obviously we know we're making lower lows on price, but are we making higher lows on the RSI? That would be the first indication that we might be bottoming out here. Maybe. Obviously back here we were making higher lows on the RSI as we were making lower lows here on the price. And for those who don't know, this is bullish divergence. You got lower lows on price, higher lows here on the RSI. Okay, so with that being said, you would think like, all right, we might be bottoming out, and I think people thought that back here in April, going into May, and you saw Pith catch some bids here in May, especially when Bitcoin, you know, was going up to like $112,000, right? But looks like the moving averages were acting as resistance. We did get above the 50, so that's a little bit interesting. But we stayed below the 100. So we didn't actually hit the 100-day moving average, this blue line here. Needless to say, if I get rid of the moving averages, we made this high, and then we just continued coming down here. And then we were looking for a higher low, but we got below this last higher low right here. So now you're making lower lows, and now you're also making lower highs. The downtrend is still intact. So whatever we had going here, where we thought we were doing a bullish divergence and bottoming out and creating a higher high and maybe creating a new upward trend, it got invalidated, and now you're still in a downward trend here. So now, I guess you have to look for a bullish divergence one more time here. Let me just turn the music down. It's kind of distracting me a little bit. But, you know, obviously you're making lower lows here, but are you making higher lows on the RSI? You could, all right? This could be the beginning of you making or attempting to make higher lows here in the RSI. You are catching some bids here, okay? But the next thing you need to do after you get the bullish divergence, right? You need to start making some higher highs again, okay? The last high here for Pith was at 13 cents. Get above 13 cents, and then we can start talking business here, okay? We could start getting a little bit cautiously optimistic on Pith. So I'm just going to mark that right there. Get above 13 cents, and I will start, you know, rooting for higher highs for Pith here. Okay. But Pith's got some work it needs to do here. All right. Or else we could still be in a downtrend, right? And with the way the downtrend's looking on Pith right now is, you know, it looks kind of like this. Okay. So really, you need to get above this downtrend for me to get excited on Pith. You know, get up to like 11 cents. Show me that you can get up to 11 cents. Stop panning around here at 10 cents. Get up to 11 cents. Start pushing towards 12 and 13 cents. And then you know you're probably starting a new uptrend here. And possibly bottoming out. And possibly this might have been the bottom for Pith. Alright, you want me to take a look at Pengu? Okay, I'll put that down. Appreciate the request. Alright. Let's take a look at Pengu. I mean, well, we got a few more requests ahead of it, but I got you. We'll look at Pengu. And let me see, did I miss anything here on... No, I didn't. Oh, I see Mar, you said what up to me on TikTok. Appreciate that. Alright. We'll look at ICP and then Pengu. So we're currently looking at ICP, currently trading at $4.98. Down almost about 1% today. And what do we got here with the ICP? Obviously, ICP has seen better days, like a lot of these other altcoins and cryptos. Its best days was in December of 2024. And I think it even had better days back in March of 2024 when that was like kind of like this was kind of like an old altcoin season. In my opinion, it was a better altcoin season than the one that we had in December of 2024. That one was like weak sauce in my opinion. But anyways, this thing has seen higher prices. And I'm not even going to do a Fibonacci analysis, even though I kind of want to. We're just going to stick to, are we bottoming out, right? And we've already talked about this with Pith, right? Are you doing bullish divergence? I have to pull up the RSI all over again here. And we were making higher lows here on the RSI. And then we make a lower low. We lost that trend here. So I guess you could say maybe you have to just adjust this. And you could still call that possibly a higher low on the RSI. And we know that we made lower lows. So this thing looks like it was trying to make bullish divergence. Just like Pith was trying to make bullish divergence. What I do see here with ICP though is that you could be in a double bottom formation here. Let me see if I can mark this out. Let's do a circle here. So hopefully that's not too big of a circle, but right here, okay. And I'll draw another, and you got another possible double bottom right here. Okay. So you got your double bottoms. $4.33 on June 22nd and $4.18 on April 7th. They got to be within 1 to 3% of each other. Let me just measure that out real quick here. Just want to confirm it. Okay. From like 418 to like 433. About 3.5%. Alright. I'll still call out a double bottom. So you are in a double bottom. Alright. And the way the double bottom normally plays out, if it does play out, you measure from where the double bottoms are at to the top of the highest peak in between the two bottoms. You take that measure move, you put it to the top, you put it on top of the peak, right? And it gives you a potential price target. If we do go up to the upside, this thing could get up to $8.37, that blue number right there, if this is a double bottom. But in order for this to play out, you got to start making higher lows and higher highs. The last high that you got to get above is right here on June 11th. Get above $6.31, and then we can start talking business here, right? And then maybe get past this other high here at $6.37. Okay, so maybe you can mark that on the chart, right? Get above this level here, 637, and we can consider ourselves being bullish. Now I'm gonna throw on the moving averages here, see if this if we got any confluence here from what I just marked out on the chart. If ICP continues going up to higher prices here, you'll probably get rejected on that 100-day moving average like you did back here in June 10th, June 11th. The 100-day moving average is currently at $5.57. So that could be a first take profit target. It's only about 50 cents away. But then, probably most likely, if this thing continues going to higher prices, you're going to get rejected by this 200-day moving average. Now, by the time the 200-day moving average comes down to where the price is, and when if the price continues going up, when those two meet each other, it might actually be right over here at the $6.37 area, and that's probably where you're going to get rejected again. So I'm expecting a rejection in the future at $6.37. And I think the main reason is going to be the 200-day moving average acting as resistance. Okay? So I think that's your upside target for ICP is 637. Get past that and get past the 200-day moving average, and then we can start talking about higher prices for ICP. But I think that is going to be your most likely take profit zone is 637 for this asset here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Pengu. For my buddy Dark, who also goes by the name of Mar. All right. Pengu. Pudgy Penguins. Oh, I already done some previous chart work on this one. All right. Wow. Okay. So we're looking at the daily chart for Pudgy Penguins. Currently trading at a penny and a half right now. And let me get rid of some of this previous chart work here. I'll even get rid of this for now. But what I want to show you guys here is that, you know, when I looked at Pudgy Penguins like a few weeks ago, maybe even last week, we were in this falling wedge. And the falling wedge is a bullish pattern. Especially if you're coming into it, you know, from the bottom. And then, you know, you're already in an uptrend on your price action, and then you start creating a falling wedge. A falling wedge should usually break out to the upside, and you can see that we actually did that with Pudgy Penguins here. Now I measured this as if it was like a bull flag. Okay, I took this measured move here from like back here where we were trading at, you know, less than half of a penny on Pudgy Penguins to the top here, and on May 14th when we got as high as like a little bit above almost 2 pennies, we got up to like 0.017 pennies here. I took that measured move like this is a flagpole, right? This is you can see that, right? Obviously you can visualize that. You got the flag, you got the pole here, you got the flag, or some people might call a pennant. get your bullish pennant, bullish flag. You put this measure move, the flagpole, to where you're breaking out on Pudgy Penguins. And it gives you a price target to look out for. We could see Pudgy Penguins get up to like 0.022 pennies, about roughly 2 pennies here. And it looks like we're on our way there, okay? That's how I'm analyzing Pudgy Penguins right now. There's not that much data for this. This thing started trading on Coinbase Exchange back on February 13th, right before Valentine's Day of this year. But what I can do now with Pudgy Penguins is I can do a Fibonacci analysis, measuring from where we were at like a 0.017 pennies down to the lows here at 0.003 pennies. And you know what we got going here on the Fibonacci is you got a 786 retracement. The 786 retracement is acting as resistance right now for Pudgy Penguins at like 0.014 pennies. We're actually above that resistance right now, so we're doing quite fine on Pudgy Penguins. And if we continue doing fine and we continue being bullish and going to higher prices on Pudgy Penguins, we're going to go past this 0.017 penny level. And then you get the 1618 saying that we could get up to 0.026 pennies. So I think in the future, Pudgy Penguins could be a 2 penny crypto. Right now we're at a penny and a half. But you got the measure move saying we could get up to like 2 pennies. And then you get the 1618 saying that we can get to 2.5 pennies. So I think Pudgy Penguin is on its way there as long as it continues being bullish. I'm expecting this thing to get up to 2.5 pennies at some point. Now, as we climb up there, it's not going to be going straight up there in a straight line. That'd be very nice, right? You can make a lot of money if it did that. But I expect maybe when we get to like penny and a half, or I'm sorry, we're already at a penny and a half. When we get to like 0.01 penny, 17 pennies here, and we retest the high back in May of, May 14th here, I'm expecting Pudgy Penguins to probably go sideways. Show that it can, stay at that level and not get rejected too hard. And then I'm expecting Pudgy Penguins to then try to go for 2 pennies. But let's see. You want to know, are we going to make any small pullbacks on Pudgy Penguins? Well, just if we do, I think we could come right back to this 618 retracement at 0.012 pennies. I think 0.012 pennies is a good level to try to get yourself into. I don't know if we're actually going to get down to 1 penny. It would be nice, right? If you're trying to buy some cheaper Pudgy Penguins here. I think what will end up happening, and it makes a lot of sense to me, is that people are going to start front running. If this thing comes down for whatever reason, down to like 0.012 pennies, they're going to click buy because there's going to be some people who are too anxious to get in and they don't know if you're actually going to get a penny. So you might get front run by some people buying at 0.012 pennies here. So I would put some buy orders in, see if you get filled in at this area. And maybe even put a buy order in at a penny, see if you get filled in at that level as well. But I think Pudgy Penguin is doing quite alright right now. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. And I'll turn on the moving averages. Let's see what the moving averages are doing. Yeah, this thing is above all the moving averages on the 1 hour time frame. It's just doing quite fine in my opinion. Let's see what the oscillators are showing. Now my chart's getting a little bit messy, but I just wanted to see the RSI here real quick. You are making lower highs here on the RSI. Alright, let me see. I gotta fix this. So you are, if you're with me here, this is a little bit disconcerting. This gives cause for a little bit of alarm here that Pudgy Penguins is actually doing bearish divergence right now. Okay? And bearish divergence, all that is you're making higher highs on the 1 hour time frame, but you're making lower highs on the RSI. What this could mean is that this thing might actually go sideways. It might stay at a penny and a half for now, until it starts catching more bids, or it might actually come down. You might actually see Pudgy Penguins come down to those lower price levels. Okay, but yeah, this is not sustainable. You cannot just continue making higher highs on the 1 hour time frame and then making lower highs on the RSI. Let's see. If I go into Market Cipher B here, on the 1 hour time frame, you did have a red sell dot that came at 9 o'clock in the morning here. But this is the 1 hour time frame. I think I want to get into like a bigger time frame. Let's look at the 4 hour time frame. Yeah, you did have a red dot that printed out actually 2 hours ago. So maybe you might start seeing lower prices here on Pudgy Penguins. Okay. And maybe you might be able to catch this at a lower price. But yeah, that's my analysis there for Pudgy Penguins. All right, let's see what else we got here. What else? Appreciate the follow. Thank you, Sini the dog. Thank you for that for that follow there. Let me see. Maybe I should show you guys my TikTok channel, guys. If you guys are interested in talking about crypto and stocks and having me analyze the charts for you, then you need to come join the Meet Damien channel here. Let me go ahead and click the TikTok, Meet Damien TikTok. I actually just recently got above 5,000 followers here. So thank you guys for helping me out. My next milestone, I guess, is going to be when we get to 10,000 followers on TikTok. But yeah, you can see there I am live right now. Meet Damien on TikTok. And I got some short form content here. You can see me talk about Ethereum, Bitcoin. We talked about Moondang, okay, Pepe, Shiba Inu, XRP, of course. And yeah, you can see my short form content here. And then you could also find me on the Meet Damien YouTube channel as well. Let's see if I can find that real quick here. And not as many subscribers, but we're trying to build it up here. But yeah, I have the Meet Damien YouTube channel. Okay. So if something does happen to me here on TikTok, if I get banned, or if TikTok gets banned in the United States, then you can come find me here on YouTube as well. I do live streams, and I got all my content here. And I also got some videos for you to check out, some like tutorial videos here, like how to use the volume range visual profile indicator, how to do a Fibonacci, how to read a candlestick chart, and how to read the RSI, MACD, and stochastic RSI. And I also got some funny videos that I made too as well. But yeah, that's me, Meet Damien on YouTube. Check me out if you haven't already. And yeah, you should try to subscribe to YouTube as well as follow me on TikTok, because if something happens to one or the other, at least you still got me. All right. Oh, we got Porky in the chat. Porky just made it onto the live stream here. All right, and then also we got MMA and Squire. It's nice to see you take a break from work and come check out my live stream. I know some of you guys are out here working, or you're listening to me while you're working. Appreciate that. I'll be working too. I am currently working for you guys, looking at the charts right now. But another guy that can do some work for you guys and look at the charts is my buddy Porky. Let's take a look at his YouTube channel. This guy goes live almost every day, every night, and he's usually live streams around like 9 or 10 p.m. East Coast time, but that's because he's over here in California. And yeah, Porky does a lot of content. He's pumping out those videos for you, and he also does the live streams just like me, and he's also pumping out those shorts, those YouTube shorts. Great guy, great guy to do chart requests with. So yeah, check out Porky Flounder. 65. We got him on TikTok. He's checking out my TikTok channel. He's also on TikTok as well for my TikTok guys. You can find Porky on TikTok. Let me see if I can find him. Porky. Porky Flounder trades. Okay. So if you want to look at another crypto TA guy, he also talks about stocks as well. But you know, I think we both like talking about crypto because it's just fun to talk about. But yeah, this Porky's TikTok channel. Okay, if you guys want to check him out, we want to get this guy some more followers here so he can actually do some live streams on TikTok. I think TikTok doesn't allow you to do live streams until you get to like 1,000 followers. So let's try to get some more followers for Porky here. But I think Porky's doing pretty well on YouTube as well. He's able to be monetized on YouTube because he has that 1,000 subscriber number. So kudos to Porky. Appreciate you coming into the chat. Ah, stop it, Porky. You're over here. Stop it. You don't even have a computer. You're funny. Alright, let's see what else we got here. We have a request from Valentino. Wants me to look at Whiff. Alright, I think that's dog with hat. So we'll take a look at that. I didn't mean to rhyme, but I just did. And then, what is this ISO 2002? Is that a request? You're making a statement that it's going live this month? That's interesting. Alright, let's see. We're going to take a look at Whiff for now. And then, my buddy Dark. You're saying that you appreciate me and you got to go back to mowing some grass. Ugh. That sucks. Unless you're getting paid for it. But then it kind of still, I don't know. It's hot out there. Mowing grass. Ugh. I would prefer to mow it in the morning when the temperatures are low during the summer. But yeah, do what you got to do. I appreciate you coming in. All right, so we're looking at Dog with Hat right now. Currently trading at 89 cents, down 1.1%, down 1% today. Let me take a look at the daily chart here. Unless you want me to look at a certain time frame, I'm going to stick to the daily chart. And what do we got? All right, so Dog with Hat has seen better days, like a lot of these low coins. And of course, those better days were in December of 2024. Can we ever get those days back again? Please. I know that's how a lot of you guys feel about your altcoins right now, including me, right? But yeah, obviously I just want to show you, like, Dog with Hat has seen higher prices here, and it's in a downtrend, and it's made lower highs and lower lows. And right now, the thing that's causing problems for Dog with Hat is this 200-day moving average, this red line, which acted as resistance back on May 23rd, where it respected it to the T. We saw Dog with Hat had the 200 moving average at $1.40, and we came up to like $1.39 on May 23rd. And the same thing could possibly happen here today, so we gotta be on the lookout, okay? You want to get above that 200-day moving average. You want to stop treating it as resistance. Alright, get above the 200 moving average, currently at 93 cents. So let's get above 93 cents. We actually got up to like 95 cents earlier today on Dog with Hat. So we were trying to do that. But you can see, traders out there, professional investors and traders out there, they use these moving averages, and that's where they put their sell orders in. And a big sell order most likely came in and pushed the price down below this 200 moving average. We need to see more longs and more bullish momentum here, pushing the price up to get us above the 200-day moving average. And once you get above the 200-day moving average, I will officially say you can be bullish on Dog with Hat. Because above the 200-day moving average, okay, that's cause for some optimism, but you're also possibly creating some higher lows here and higher, well, not higher highs, but you're probably putting in your daily daily higher low right here at 63.5 cents right now on June 22nd. All right, which is higher than the lows back here on May 6th when you were at like 52 cents. Okay, so you do have your higher lows here, and I'll try to mark that out here. Boom. Okay, you got your higher low here, and you got another higher low here. Okay, so keep doing that, and eventually, even better than that is to make a higher high. We got to get past this higher high here on June 10th when we got as high as $1.07, and even better than that would be getting past this other high here at $1.39. Do that, and then I will say, yes, we are in business. We are back, and we can be bullish on dog with hat. Okay, and if you get up to like $1.39, that's like almost like a 50% gain from where you are right now. So you'll be doing pretty all right if you can do that. Let's measure that out real quick. Get up to $1.39, and yeah, you're gonna be up 55% on your dog with hat. All right, so I think that should be your actually your first take profit target. Well, actually no, I take that back. Depending upon if you're day trading. If you're day trading, then maybe this is your first take profit target. The high here back at $1.07. Depending upon what kind of leverage and how much margin you're putting in. But then your second take profit target is going to be right here at $1.39. Get above that, and yeah, you should put your sell orders in. Somebody else is probably going to be eyeballing that as well, and they're going to be putting their sell orders in. Usually, the guy who ends up getting the highest price is the guy that clicks the sell button first before everybody else clicks sell, sell, sell. All right. Porky's asking me, am I grilling for the 4th? No, I'm not. I'm not grilling for the 4th. I'm going to be camping. I'll probably be going to somebody else's cookout, if anything. Yeah. I did some grilling last weekend. I cooked a steak dinner for my dad. My dad came to visit me from out of town, and I ate and probably ate a little bit too much steak that weekend because I had some leftovers. And I felt like I gained a little bit of weight just in time for 4th of July, right? So I'm actually trying to avoid beef and steak. I'm going to stick to like chicken and fish. Try to stay lean as best as I can. Porky's like, too much steak, what does that mean? Porky, you know what that means. You know what that means. I'm also trying to avoid drinking like beer and alcohol and whatnot, because that's like excess calories as well. And from what I know about like your metabolism, you can like eat one grape, right? Or like just eat one banana or whatever. But if you drink 1 ounce of beer, your body's going to try to metabolize. Your liver's going to try to metabolize the beer, that 1 ounce of beer, before it starts working on the grape or banana or whatever else you ate. And that grape or banana that you ate will actually get stored as fat. And then eventually you'll dip into it. If you don't eat anything else and you don't drink anything else, then your body will start burning, the banana and the whatever else you ate. But your body will burn the alcohol first before it burns any food. And all it takes is 1 ounce of beer, and your liver has to go after that first before it goes after whatever food you ate that day. So that's one reason why I try to avoid drinking as best as I can. But I also like having a good time too. So if you threaten me with a good time, I'm probably gonna end up drinking. But if I don't have to, I'm not gonna like drink by myself. That is basically the point that I'm trying to make right now. But yeah, you guys, what are you guys doing for your 4th of July cookouts? You guys doing anything fun? Anybody going to the beach? Anybody going camping? Going on a boat? What are your 4th of July plans out here? Besides making money. Hopefully you guys made some money. Hopefully you guys made some money this week so you can go enjoy your 4th of July. Porky is like, beer and red meat is the whole holiday. Well, sounds like you're gonna have an awesome holiday. At least dinner and grilling wise. Wait, leaving the country? You're gonna be leaving the country? What? Are you going to Mexico? Because I know you're down there like in Southern California. So I'm a little bit curious. Are you going down to like Mexico? What's that town right across the border? Right near San Diego, Tijuana, I think. Are you going down there? But yeah, guys, we can talk about other things besides crypto and stocks here. We're kind of like doing a Q&A session right now. But I'm over here asking the questions. Porky. I'm trying to figure out where's Porky gonna go? You going out of the country? Like what? You going to Canada? Or are you going somewhere like that requires like a passport? Yes. Grilling, drinking beer, and watching fireworks. That's a great way to spend your 4th of July. Let's take a look at Ethereum while we're talking about 4th of July. Hopefully we see some fireworks for Ethereum as I segue into it. Ethereum currently trading at $2,579. We haven't looked at Ethereum yet, but we pretty much look at Ethereum almost every live stream that I do. I like day trading Ethereum. Very predictable. You know, you buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high, right? For the most part. But what I like about Ethereum right now is that Ethereum got above this 200-day moving average. This red line. This 200 moving average is sitting at, right now it's at 2,516 bucks. And we got to close above that yesterday. And then today we just need to stay where we're at, or we'll go a little bit higher and we get another close above it. You know, and hopefully we can continue pushing up to higher prices here. You know, if we do, I did eyeball 2,680 bucks is where a lot of these candle wick closes and candle body closes are at. So I think that could be a level to watch out for that some people might not be looking for. But you know, if you're measuring using candlesticks, you're looking for that level. $2,681, about $100 more on Ethereum before we might get another rejection. See, this is also a level back here in February that we were kind of like, you know, trading at for the most part. And this is also a level that we were topping out and using resistance back in September and October of 2024. So I think 2,681 is a magic number which might not show up on your charts unless you're paying attention to where those candle wick closes and body closes are at. But then once we get past 2,681, then we go up another $100, and you know, then you're threatening to get past where Ethereum was trading at back on June 11th at 2,880 bucks. And then after that, we off the races. It will be right next to $3,000, and just looking at my previous Fibonacci analysis here, we do have a 1618 that says, you know, Ethereum could get up to 3,700 bucks later on in 2025. It just has $1,000 more to go. All right, let's see. Oh, we got a request here for AI16Z. Oh, Porky, you're day trading from your phone? Hey, that's what I do. Hey, Porky, when I'm watching your live streams late at night, I actually do day trade from my phone, unless I'm at my computer. So yeah, I probably spend half my time day trading from my phone versus being on the computer, to be honest. Sometimes I'll even day trade. Let me show you if try to show you my iPad here. But like I'll just day trade on my iPad right here. All right, it's a little bit better than the phone. You get a bigger picture here. Yeah, I would agree. You know, because it's really hard to look at the moving averages and you know, so there's some things I can't even do on my iPad that I can do on the computer. So I agree with you. Yeah, your win rate is probably higher when you're at the computer. And you know, Forky, you know, when we get better at this, between me and you know, we'll probably be, you know, day trading full time the way me and you are going at this rate. And then we don't have to do the other things, and we just focus on making like $500 to $1,000 a day, just day trading every day. That would be the ultimate goal, right? Make $1,000 a day. Figure like 250 days work days in a year. That's 250 grand right there, right? Make $1,000 every day, 250 days, 250 grand. All right, let's take a look at AI16Z from my buddy here. Who put in that request? Happy sad thing. All right, happy sad thing. Don't forget to hit the like button, especially if I'm looking at your asset here and giving you some free analysis. Let's take a look on Mexi Exchange. Okay, AI16Z currently trading at 15 cents right now. A little bit under 16 cents, down 3% today. I got the daily chart here. Ugh. AI16Z has definitely seen better days, like some of these other cryptos. Its best days were here in January, early January, right before Donald Trump got inaugurated. This thing was trading as high as $2.51. Yikes. You see how dangerous some of these cryptocurrencies can be? You can lose like 90% of what you put in. You put into the wrong one. In this case, AI16Z. Apparently it was the wrong one for now. But man, if you could just round trip this thing back up to where it was at $2, man, you'll be making a lot of money. So I guess we need to figure out, you know, is AI16Z actually bottoming out here? Or are we going to just continue going down to lower prices? All right. Let me get rid of the moving averages for now. We're just looking at the naked chart. Just looking by, you know, highs and lower highs here. We wanted to see AI16Z get up to like 45 cents. That's the high that it made back on March 2nd. And then it tried to do that back here on May 12th here. But we only got up to like 40 cents. That's just not good enough. That's actually a lower high. So then after that, we continue making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and obviously we've been making lower lows to get down to these lower highs. So, yeah, not good. Not good, my friend, not good. But, what can we do with this? Are we actually bottoming out? Okay. Maybe this could be a double bottom. Right? Let's see, the lowest low that we have for AI16Z is that we got down to like 0.098 pennies, roughly 10 pennies. So I'll just mark that off right here. Do not go below here. Do not cross go. If not, you will not be able to collect $200. You're going to continue losing money if you go below 9 to 10 cents here on AI16Z. Let's go ahead and turn on the oscillators now. Okay, see if we're getting any hopes of bullish divergence or anything like that. I gotta adjust these oscillators here a little bit. Okay, RSI, very important. I want to see if we're going to get some bullish divergence here. I mean, I don't know. Porky, are you still there? What's your opinion? Would you count this as higher lows on the RSI, even though we have all this other, you know, work going on the RSI? Would you? I mean, maybe it might show that distinctively on the weekly or monthly chart, but I think you could qualify this as bullish divergence. Okay. Actually, no, you can't. I take that back because you would have to make a lower low on the price. Alright, so you're just, I mean, all you're doing is you're making higher lows on the RSI and you're making higher lows on the price. As long as you don't go any lower than what you've done here on June 22nd. Do not go lower than 12.5 cents on AI16Z, and then maybe you might have a sliver of hope. So there's not really any bullish divergence. I can't really give that to you on AI16Z. But what you need to do next is you need to start making higher highs and higher lows on the daily time frame. Looks like the last significant high right now is June 10th. You got as high as 25 cents. Get back to 25 cents and then continue going higher. And then we can start being a little bit more optimistic about AI16Z here. And then of course you got to get past these highs. You can see we had a left shoulder, head, and a right shoulder. So this head and shoulder pattern played out to the downside, obviously. We can see that, you know, hindsight is 2020, right? But then I eventually want to see us get above 40 cents. So we got some work to do here on AI16Z. But, you know, if you continue going down, you got to pray to God you hold 9 to 10 cents here. And then you can just count that as a double bottom. Because if you go lower than that, then it might be game over for AI16Z, in my opinion. But you have the potential, right? Even though you kind of took it down to as far as you could go, you know, you have the potential of just making a higher low, and then just never go lower than this again. All right. Guys, I think I'm gonna end the live streams here soon. We'll take a look at Bitcoin one more time on the way out, and then that's gonna be it. Oh, okay. D2 Miami put a request in for H-bar. All right, so we'll look at H-bar real quick, and then we'll finish off on Bitcoin. Appreciate the request. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out, or you can just hit it right now. All right, H-bar. H-bar currently trading at 15 cents, 0.158 pennies to be exact. We're looking at the daily time frame here on H-bar. And this is interesting. Just eyeballing the chart right now, I see a level that I want H-bar to stay above. Stay above that level, please. At 12.5 cents. Okay. Where you respected that level here on April 7th, and you respected that level again here on June 22nd here. Okay, so that's your low. That's where you can put your stop loss below those levels. If you lose 12.5 cents, then there's something wrong, and you probably don't want to stick around for H-bar. Let's go ahead and throw on the moving averages. See what comes up here. You're below all your moving averages, so that means that as you climb up to higher prices, these moving averages are going to act as resistance. Okay. First resistance is probably going to be that 50-day at 17 cents, and then the 100-day at 18.5 cents, and then the 200-day will act as resistance at some point. Currently hanging around at 21 cents right now. But let me get rid of the moving averages now. Start making higher highs, right? That like a lot of these other assets need to be doing. You gotta stop making lower highs and start making higher highs. The next high you need to get above is get above 18.5 cents. Get above that, and then I could start being more optimistic about Hedera. And then of course you gotta get above this high right here at roughly 21 cents. But let's see what the oscillators look like. Oscillators RSI is at 52. That's the neutral territory for the most part. You have the potential and the juice to go to higher prices. You just gotta start doing it. MACD is getting a little bit of buying pressure right now. Okay, continue doing more buying pressure. But yeah, I just think, you know, these moving averages probably act as resistance. Those are your upside. Your downside target, 12.5 cents. Okay, 12.5 cents. Put your stop loss below that. All right. Hope if it gets hit, don't try to re-enter the trade. It probably means this thing wants to continue going down lower. All right, because if you hit it once, you hit it twice, and you hit it a third time, it probably is going to break through and it's going to go down to lower prices on you. Third time's a charm normally. So I would stay away if this thing goes below 12.5 cents. All right, let's go back to Bitcoin on our way out. Bitcoin currently trading at 109,654. Still up today, even though it was doing better earlier. We got rejected off the $110,600 level here. It was good to see that Bitcoin was actually able to get up to that level, but I want to see us close above that level to show that we are actually strong and we're heading to higher prices here. The reason why I marked this $110,600 level is because this was a candle wick high here back on June 9th. We saw 110,651 on Bitcoin here. So, yeah. I would like to see us to get above that level, but I also want to see us stay above this level. Stay above this downtrend that we were in, that we currently broke out yesterday. Stay above that level, so stay above $108,400, and we can remain bullish on Bitcoin. Okay, and then the higher we go, the more bullish we get on Bitcoin. Okay, at least until we get past 110,600, and then we'll see what it does after that. But then we want to then see us get above the all-time high of $112,000, and if you do that, right, just like I said earlier in the live stream, you could see the 1618 at $120,000 Bitcoin. I think that's possible in July. We'll just have to see what Bitcoin decides to do here. But guys, thank you for coming in to the live stream. I'm not going live tomorrow. I'm going to actually enjoy my 4th of July. Saturday, I'm going to be camping. Sunday, yeah, we'll plan on me going live on Sunday afternoon, okay? Around like 1 p.m. is when you can catch me, Eastern time. So yeah, we'll plan on doing a little live stream on Sunday afternoon. Okay, guys? If you haven't done so already, hit that like button on the way out. That's going to be it for today. I appreciate the requests, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. Take care.